Hello, and thank you for joining today's webinar, where we'll cover the topic, What's New in the Dynamics 2022 Wave 2 release. Hi, I'm Kevin DeCoster, a pre-sale solution architect with hot off the press, newly rebranded Argano, formerly known as Arbella, and I'm joined by Martin Peasant, Michael Hazelhurst from our customer success team. Hey, some housekeeping items before we start. Feel free to move around in the webinar tool. Expand all those different display boxes that you see. Feel free to ask questions in the questions pane. We'll respond to those throughout the session today. We also have closed captioning. You can select that option should you desire. Over the next hour, we will cover the following topics. We'll provide we're going to cover the following topics. We're going to provide an overview of our take on the new offering from Microsoft called Viva Sales. We'll share insights into the direction of the AI-powered contact center. And we're excited to share this new online release planner tool for Dynamics and PowerPoint that can aid you in better understanding really what's on the horizon for Microsoft business apps. And then I'm going to hand it over to Martin and Michael, and they're going to dig into our hand-picked list of features being provided in the upcoming Wave 2 release. Okay, let's start by looking at Microsoft Viva Sales. While not technically part of the Wave release, this tool is provided to ultimately drive seller productivity, to capture that sales momentum and help keep those salespeople in the flow, right? Viva Sales contains some higher level features you may already be familiar with, such as Outlook and Teams integration. These features are now also packaged into the Viva Sales offering to drive the goal of better managing the customer data across the broader system of sales productivity tools like CRM, Office, Outlook, and Teams, all right? You may think, well, they're already integrated today, and they are, but with Viva Sales, the customer profile is reimagined and it's more unified. So you may also notice here the word Salesforce on the slide. Yes, you heard that correctly, and make no mistake, Microsoft Viva Sales is connected to both Dynamics as well as those who are using Salesforce Sales Cloud. More on that in a moment. So when these salespeople are in the flow, they can not only easily consume, but also activate customer interactions within Office and Teams. That data can kind of be contextualized to your situation through the use of what are called adaptive cards. So think of that flight reservation reminder that you get on your phone. We can share Dynamics right into Teams with great graphics, great targeted information, and really improve collaboration. And finally, it really engages about capturing that intelligent intelligence related to customer conversations. So this includes those voice aligned features such as call recording, sentiment analysis, AI-driven action items. I want to make a final point about licensing and the overall positioning of Microsoft Viva Sales. So Viva Sales is provided free of charge to customers who are licensed for Dynamics CE Sales Enterprise. Many of you have that license, and we expect there to be continued investments here to further integrate Dynamics with Office and Teams. And while there's no cost for Sales Enterprise users, the cost per user on other Dynamics SKUs or on Salesforce is $40 per user per month. So in a nutshell, with Viva Sales, Microsoft is providing an advanced productivity solution that more fully integrates with Office and Teams at a lower cost for Dynamics Sales Enterprise customers as compared to other CRM offerings, such as Salesforce. All right, hey, turning the page, guys. We have seen significant investments from Microsoft in advanced contact center tools over the last 1 to 2 years. Microsoft is now bringing first-party voice solutions into customer service. So the voice capability allows for common contact center as a service or CCaaS capabilities. That we mentioned before: call routing, call recording, biometrics. My voice is my password, and AI-based capabilities to really understand that customer intent and intelligently route phone calls and other interactions. So it's about getting, the right interaction to the right agent at the right time, while also providing kind of that information and insights from CRM at the fingertips of that service agent. So that all of that, kind of in a nutshell, really drives customer experience. Hey, what's unique about the Microsoft offering is that they now seamlessly combine that voice channel with the CRM. It used to be that you had to separately identify that voice provider, separately identify a contact center solution, and then figure out how to integrate to a CRM. So all of this is now provided by one provider, Microsoft. The stuff is a game changer. We're starting to engage customers in both that small, medium, as well as enterprise space to help streamline their service offerings. Hey, before I turn it over to Martin, I want to share a new tool from Microsoft called the Release Planner. The URL is provided right there on the slide, the URL. This tool provides a comprehensive view of all new and planned features from Microsoft CE, Dynamics CE, and Power Platform. It used to be where you kind of have to know someone or know where to find the right information, and it was difficult to put the picture together around what's coming. Here we can view a summary of each planned feature. You can see when the feature is being planned for preview, early adoption, or general availability. You can sort by module, you can sort by release month, you can sort across all content to find specific features. And as a planning tool, you can log in and tag your favorite features to help you manage overall feature adoption within your organization. All right, hey, with that, I'm going to turn it over to Martin, and he's going to dig into the Wave 2 release.
Thank you, Kevin. Hi, everybody. As you know, my name is Martin Peasant. I'm actually working at Arbella within the client care team. I am working as a senior Dynamics CE consultant. A little bit of background about me. I've been managing multiple help desk division in the telecom industry. I've been managing different field services team for almost 10 years. We were supporting about 15,000 different locations across North America, including 1,500 different field services subcontractor companies. Today, I am so excited to present you the new updates for customer service and field services module. It is when you see these frequent updates every month that you know that you have the right software in your hand to properly evolve your business and elevate your business. But enough about my intro. Let's dive into customer service. So today I've selected like the top 5 current change that is happening. So we have enhanced layout customer service workspace, the auto summarize conversations, the preferred agent routing, the voicemail callback, and the new automation capabilities for managing swarms. So let's dig into it. Enhanced layout, as you can see, it's beautiful, isn't it? Like everything is the same place, everything is properly aligned. So I don't know how many of you have ever worked on a case in their life as an agent, but I did. And personally, switching between tabs and forms to get your information, or I'm missing this part of information, I'm going to go there. I have a discussion with the client, but it's not within the same page. Everything goes like it's a total nightmare at the end of the day. So here, Microsoft enables the agent to multitask on several cases and conversation simultaneously with the ability to switch among issues seamlessly, as you can see on the screenshot right there. So it makes life easier for agent to track, to get their information and follow their conversation. Here we got the auto summarize conversation. What is that, you say? Well, reading through a conversation could be a total nightmare. Depending on your business type, some discussion could last 5 minutes, some of them could last 20 minutes, and some of them could have even some follow-up discussion. So let's say you've discussed it about a subject, but there's some action that needs to be done, so you will have to talk again with the client. Well, as an agent, when you go into this ticket and you're trying to find out, okay, what was done, what is the issue, what are we doing here, right? It becomes a total nightmare, and it's really time consuming for the agent. And, as per experience, like I said, I've been managing multiple help desks, and I would say that 50% of the people don't read the previous discussion. They just start with, okay, the next action was do a follow with the client, then we do it. Well, guess what? Microsoft comes in with the artificial intelligence to provide a summary report of the conversation. So as you can see on the picture at the bottom left, it gives you a little insight of what was tried. It was a printer issue. Okay, was this tried? Was step number 1, 2, 3? Well, at the first glance, you have all the details that you need right there. So at least it gives you a good insight. So instead of digging in the conversation, okay, what was done, where are we at, and whatnot, then you have a nice generated text for you right there. Makes things easier for the agent, right? Preferred agent routing. The subject pretty much says it all, right? But what's the real purpose behind this? Well, for managing multiple help desks, from times to times, agents develop good relationship with clients. And these relationships are fundamental. Why? Because client knows that the agent will understand more quickly what the client is talking about, because he's actually familiar with the solution itself. And you really want good relationship in the customer service. Just simply by the fact that even if the agent makes a mistake, since there's a relationship, since there's a chemistry between both parties, the client will be more tolerant in terms of if there was a mistake or not. Or on the other side, if there's a good relationship, the client or the agent will most of the time do the extra mile just because of that good relationship, right? So I have a technician scheduled for you on next Tuesday, there's an emergency call for next Tuesday, but your schedule is already overbooked, right? Well, I'm pretty sure, I can actually guarantee that the agent at the end of the day will find a spot to take this call, to make it a priority within the system, just because of that good relationship. So you really want to embrace a good relationship. So, all right, so what's up with the preferred agent routing? Well, Microsoft gives you the ability to do that. So you can say, company A, I want you to talk with Paul at the call center. So whenever company A calls in, I want Paul to be the one answering, because he knows the whole solution. He knows the whole setup of the client and whatnot. So the relationship would just be beautiful. And at the end of the day, probably that the case is going to be resolved in a timely manner because he already knows everything. So that's the goal of the preferred agent routing. Very awesome feature from Microsoft. All right, voice callback support. Maybe some of you were waiting for it, but now it's happening. So basically, I guess as a consumer yourself, at some point of your life, you've been probably waiting on the line somewhere at some company for ages on the line. So now Microsoft is giving the ability for the system to automatically offer the customer the ability to remain in the line, in the queue, and arrange for voice callback. So we now have voice callback in there. So the client will just press 1 or 2, doesn't matter, on the phone line, and the system will record his voice, and he will be kept in the queue in his proper position. So then the agent will be able to call him back without having the client waiting on the line forever. Nice feature. And for last, the swarm feature capabilities. For those of you who are not familiar with the swarm function, it's just simply a feature that allows you to get assistance from your colleague. I used to call this a war room where everybody sits in the conference room and focus on resolving the issue. But now this feature has been developed virtually with Microsoft. It's been there for quite some time, but now what they're changing to it, they're adding some power to the automation. So let's say we have an issue with electricity per se. So what I can do is, let's say I have an expert electrician on the field, I will add him to the swarm. So every time an agent has an issue with a case that concerns the electricity and he press on the swarm button, he will be able to get a team of professionals right away without even looking. The system will know right away that, oh, okay, so we got an issue for electricity, so it will get the expert on the line within the same call, within the customer workspace, which is great, right? I mean, you facilitate everything. Everybody's at the same place. You click on one button, it brings everybody together. But it doesn't stop there. You can create some tasks. You can follow your project. You can follow your swarm progress automatically. You can create some tasks to it. And the beauty of it is, let's say I'm the agent. I'm using the CRM to put some task in the system. But actually, the expert electrician that is on the field, he's not working with the CRM at all. Well, the beauty of it is he will be able to follow everything without needing to access the CRM. So the way it works is, as soon as you click on a swarm, he will get a new team message. So Microsoft Teams, I suppose everybody is familiar to it, where it's a chat software with Microsoft. So everything is followed in that software. So you don't have to access the CRM. So you don't need to pay an extra license for that. So which makes things great, right? I mean, you can use the whole power of your business now. So this closed the loop for customer service. This is like the top 5 highlights that come in. And the beauty of it is, actually, some of them are already available. So some of them you can already try them. But some of them are also in creation right now. So just be patient. It should be long. Let's talk about field service. We got some nice feature into the field service coming in. They're just add-on. So let's dive into it. The first one we have is not to exceed feature. So just to put you a little demonstration here. Did you ever had a contract with a budget limit? I've seen many business where the agent or the field technician just, you go on site, perform the work, everything is good, the client is happy. Then somebody at finance or somebody at the administration just take a look at the contract, and he says, "Oh, did you know that we had a budget of 20,000 for this customer, and now we're at like 23,000 for the customer?" Well, with this feature, this won't happen anymore. Why? Is because you just put your amount right in there, and then you can do whatever you want with it. So if you say that if I'm at 90% of reaching that budget limit, I want the sales team to get an email with, telling them that the contract is about to reach its limit, or you want the finance to learn about it, or you want the agent at the support desk to be aware that we're not going to do any field service until there's a new contract signed. Well, that's now available, right? That's kind of cool. So it saves a bunch of nice surprise, because billing a client that for a job that is above the budget limit that was established is not a good discussion. All right, we got another feature here. It's called the trade feature. So basically, you can organize the type of service that you provide customer by creating categories of work that are called trades. So by doing so, your user will experience a simpler work order creation process, because only incident type related to the selected trade will be displayed. So you can also associate trades to location and account to filter what type of trade you're allowed to provide. So in this case, you don't accidentally provide another service to them that wasn't contracted, right? So this feature will save time as well as save your organization money by ensuring that you're only providing services where it's agreed upon. The other feature doesn't have any screenshot, unfortunately, just because they're being worked on right now. But I just wanted to let you know about these 3 features, because they will impact field service. So we got the resource scheduling optimization. So basically today, the current resource scheduling will leave existing booking associated with the resource or time self-booking lock to the dispatcher to make the final decision. So let me just give you an example. So I want my electrician to be on site for next Tuesday because we think that that's a good time slot for the client, whatever, right? And then we have the system that does is optimization. So it optimizes the routes, the travel, optimize the time and whatnot. So the way it works right now is even if you soft log it, so even if you say that next Tuesday you want the electrician to be on site, well, the system will like overlap that schedule because it was soft booking. So it's like you're thinking that next Tuesday is going to be a good fit just to reserve your technician, just to reserve the time slot. But in the same time, you have the system that optimized the route and sort of overwrite or overlap that schedule. So what's happening in this case is it's up to the dispatcher to say, okay, do we keep the initial dispatch with the electrician on next Tuesday, or we take the what the schedule optimization did for us, right? So Microsoft is a little bit changing that behavior. So the soft locking, so in this case, the electrician going on site on next Tuesday, when the system will do the optimization, it will avoid this soft locking. So it will do the optimization, but it will also consider the soft lock. So in this case, it will reserve the spot for the electrician and it will do the optimization everywhere else there. So that's kind of cool. The new schedule board. So maybe some of it you already be aware of it or not, but actually the current schedule board will be retiring in April 1st, 2023, but you will still have the option with a toggle button to trigger the old legacy board. This new board will deliver more performance, additional utilities, and actually in the next release we'll know a little bit more about it, but that's coming. There's also new enhancements for mobile. I don't know if you ever use the mobile apps, but when you're at the bottom of a form and you need to click on under the tab, well, sadly, you have to scroll all the way back up to switch to a different form, which is sort of annoying and a waste of time. So Microsoft is giving you the ability to change tab even if you're at the bottom of a form, which leads to reducing the time spent on the form. So this is giving you guys an overview of customer service, of field service. It's been a nice pleasure to give you these updates. I will give the mic to my colleague, Michael. I think you're on mute, Michael.
Michael Hazelhurst here, manager within our client care department at Argano. Also want to direct you guys to a link that we have at the bottom of your screen. It's going to go over in more visual detail some of the features that Martin just described for you. I'm going to speak to you today about marketing and sales, and you can see as we go through some of these features how integrated these two applications are and the synergy that they provide each other. For both of my applications, you'll see the plan coming soon and try now features. You'll also notice as you go through, especially the new UI that Kevin was talking about, it goes over the features. You can see a lot of the try now features were from the first release, and we're starting to see more of a continuous release schedule. It's not like everything comes out in the spring and everything comes out in the fall. There's nothing in between. We're starting to see a lot more blend between those two. And so for marketing, we've got 12 planned features, 8 that are coming soon, and already 32 that you can try now. I'll kick it off here and go ahead and start talking about some of the cool features that we found interesting. This first one, I'm here in a customer journey, and we're now going to make it available for you to be able to route leads directly from the customer journey onto your sellers and do things like create activities such as phone calls and tasks. So we're really trying to make it more productive and quicker for the seller to be able to get those leads and already have some action items in play for them to convert those leads into opportunities. This feature is going to be generally available in October, so this month. Our next is a neat new feature, and it's surrounding custom channels. So you're able to now within your journey add things like a local SMS provider or a custom email provider that you'd like to insert here You can also templatize these as well, so leverage them on your future journeys and really start to personalize and provide things like consent and deliverability analytics. This feature for public preview is going to be available this month, and then it'll be available generally towards the end of the year in December. So this next feature is all about making forms more appealing and to be able to get more information from your potential customers, make it easier for our marketers to build these forms. You're no longer going to have to rely upon developers. And we touched a bit on this in the first release, but they're emphasizing it again here in the second release of 2022, and really just making these forms more appealing again, so that when potential customers come upon them, they're more motivated to fill them out and provide their content. It's going to be available for public preview next month, and then generally available in February of next year. This was one of my favorite this time. So my wife is actually in marketing. She works as a content marketer. And so she's constantly thinking of new ideas for campaigns and content and, ads and things like that. And so Microsoft is starting to leverage AI within marketing. And so when you're in here creating a marketing email, for example, we've got 3 sort of text box that you can start entering some ideas, and then artificial intelligence will start populating your marketing email with some ideas that you could go off of. So instead of coming in here and starting from a blank slate, you're going to have something else that you'll be able to sort of start tweaking immediately without having to start from scratch. And that was already made available for public preview in August, and it'll be generally available to everybody this coming March. And then here's some other features that we wanted to bring to your attention, specifically the send reminders within journeys to drive customer actions. So the example that was provided to us for this feature is when a customer is trying to check out with a shopping cart and they have some items and maybe they've left that and abandoned that cart. And so within a journey, we're going to be able to start sending reminders to that customer until they take a certain action. In this case, if they were to check out, that action would be completed, or you can define a date and time to where the reminders would cease. But really driving home the ability to engage more directly and using things like custom channels to reach those customers to get them to complete the action that you're trying to get them to complete. So I'll move on now to sales. Sales is a little bit lighter this release. We've only got 4 coming soon features, but there are 14 that are planned. And again, the try now, the 48, a lot of those were realized from the first wave. And so there's quite a few there, but just keep in mind some of those were already announced from the first wave as well. So this first feature for sales is surrounding email validation. So your administrators are going to be able to turn on this new feature and have a lot of your data validated for email addresses, which is important not only for sellers, but also for marketers. So you can start to see how these applications work in conjunction with one another. Specifically here, we're talking about, somebody fat-fingered an email address, didn't realize that somebody put a space in an email address, something to that effect. Maybe something's expired or it's a bounce back. So with this feature, your sellers are going to be notified of these errors that need to be validated and corrected, so that when you're starting to reach out to these individuals via either directly as a seller is trying to engage with the lead, or if you're trying to put these contacts into a segment and start marketing to them through the marketing application, it's very valuable to make sure that your data is clean, and this feature certainly helps achieve that. This next feature is surrounding a new dashboard within the sales application. And as you can see, there's a lot of color on it. It pops a lot more than a regular or legacy dashboard that you would ordinarily see. And for anyone that's spending a lot of time in the CE world, when you start to create dashboards, you're motivated and prompted to create a more modern or Power BI based dashboard. And you can certainly see that that's what this is. It's really giving the sellers a snapshot of everything that they're involved in for that. And at that point in time, so that when you come in on a daily basis, you can see, the contacts, accounts, leads, and opportunities that you're involved with, so that you can more focus your time that day in where it needs to be focused. This next feature is another of my favorite, and it's surrounding SMS. So within the Sales Accelerator, you're now going to be able to engage directly with customers via SMS or text message. And you're also going to be allowed to add those into sequences. So you can have your sellers now begin to engage with their leads via text message, as well as you can access the conversation history of those text message conversations. Similarly to how in the past, you can go through a timeline and see the communication in the past that you've had with your customers. You'll now be able to do that as well with text message, which I thought was pretty neat. And then here are some other sales features that we wanted to touch on. One that I thought was interesting here was the guide sellers to work simultaneously. And what's cool about this is that you could have multiple sequences that you assign to multiple individuals to start tackling a particular lead, for example, so that you can really become more productive as a sales team and convert those leads into opportunities and ultimately into new business. So with that, I will invite you guys to, if you're interested in some of these features or in learning more, please reach out to Kevin if you're a prospective contact or a prospective client rather. It's his first name, Kevin, last name, DeCoster@arbellatech.com. And similarly, if you're an existing client and you're interested in any of these features, please reach out to me. My first name, Michael, last name, Hazelhurst @arbellatech.com. We really appreciate you guys taking the time today to be here with us and learning more about these new features for the fall release of 2022 for CE. With that, we'll turn it over to any questions that you guys may have. Thank you. We had a question, what was standalone Viva pricing again, from Brian? Kevin, do you have that available for the Viva pricing?
If my memory is correct, I think it's at $40. We'll have to verify that.
Yeah, Brian, we can verify that and get back with you on it. And Brian had another question, which was, when is Viva Sales going GA, or when is it going to be generally available? Kevin, can you hear us?
The GA is Q4 2022. So if it's not out there already, it should be within the next few months there.
So we have, was that SMS feature for sales going to embed the SMS conversation in CE? And the answer to that is yes. There will be the ability for you to be able to communicate within CE with your customers via text message. And Vong, if I wasn't clear earlier, the conversation history will also be available as well within CE. All right, I think that's all the questions that we had. Thank you guys so much for the time. We really appreciate it. Look forward to working with you again. If you're a prospective client, please reach out to Kevin. If you're an existing client, please reach out to myself. We wish you guys have a great end of your week and looking forward to being able to leverage a lot of these new features. So enjoy. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.